with horror.
Emergency. I'm on Epsom Road. A boy's hit his head and he's not moving.
Do you think that maybe he could have been hit by a car?
Yeah, there's a possibility, but he may have just fallen off his bike.
Well, guys, first of all, congratulations for the film. Really enjoy it, and really intense film also. So obviously, the main question I have to ask you is like, Joel, you were involved in the writing of the film, and also are the lead actor. And I've been writing for a while. You were involved in the Rover as well. Mm-hmm. So I wonder how you guys together got the perfect balance between your vision and Matt's vision.
Well, I wrote the initial script, and then once I had a draft of the script, I knew I had to partner with the right director, and Matthew was the person that I really wanted to make this movie with. So first thing is I got him on board. I went and found him and shared the script with him, and once he was on board, we would meet together every, sometimes every 4 to 6 months, spend a couple of days together to keep developing the story until we were ready to make the movie. And that process took like 2 or 3 years. So it meant we were thinking with, two heads are better than one, but we started to really see with the one vision, you know.
Mm-hmm. Matthew, when thinking on the casting of the actors for each role, how was the process for that, and how, for example, you get Tom Wilkinson to speak Aussie?
Well, with the casting first, we had Joel. He was he was always going to be in the movie, and fortunately he was available. And Tom was just the top of our list. It's kind of, I think we would, when drafting and redrafting, he was sort of an actor that was, we mentioned on several occasions. And thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if we got someone like Tom Wilkinson to play Carl? But in terms of Tom doing an accent, that's what he does. That's what he does for a living. He's very, very good at accents. And Australian is notoriously hard. Except for Australians, it's quite easy for us.
I find it, I find it easy myself. But he read the script and it was a real blessing that he read it, really loved the character and wanted to come and work on the film, And it also then spilled on with us getting Jai, Melissa George, we were very lucky. We have a great cast.
Mm-hmm. So, was this the original idea to have an all-star Australian cast plus one big name like Tom Wilkinson, or that went along the way with the casting and all the selection criteria?
Well, on the writing side of things, we look, when you make an Australian film, you're always looking to sort of get some sort of high-profile casting so that you could get some international sales. A lot of it comes down to economics, and but we were lucky to have Jai, who's already having a very big international career. But it really came from the writing of Tom's character, of Carl. Pardon me. We wanted Carl to be someone who's like what we call like a 10-pound pom. It's an old expression. It's probably not the most useful modern expression, but different British and European people who emigrated to Australia to be part of the workforce out here, and it was a government incentive, and it's part of our cultural history, not always the greatest cultural history, and that's who he was, a British immigrant, and so it just made sense that we were looking in that direction for an actor of stature to come and participate with us.
Mm-hmm. And what's more interesting for you guys, like working in these Australian films local, or for example for you, Joel, get involved in huge blockbuster films, like for example you're working on Exodus with Ridley Scott now?
It's all great to me. I mean, look, there's a pride I have for this film that will live longer and feel fuller than the pride I have working on an actor on another project, because it's got my DNA all over it. It's come from me. It's a very personal exploration of ideas. I feel flattered and constantly surprised and lucky to be working on the big Hollywood productions I do. And they're all exciting, and I wouldn't exchange either of them, but this is something very special to me.
Mm-hmm. And Matt, as an Australian director, which one would you say is the forecast for the Australian film industry from now on?
I wish I knew. I think a lot of people wish that they knew. I think this year's pretty exciting in terms of the output. There's some really exciting Australian films that are coming down the pipeline, either that have been shot or will soon be shot. I honestly couldn't tell you categorically what the prognosis is. Look, I think all independent films worldwide have struggled recently because there's a shifting paradigm in film distribution, and also a crowded marketplace because of digital media that's coming through. But I think the dust is sort of settling, and we're all kind of trying to work. We're beginning to work out what the new landscape is.
Mm-hmm. And just to finish, which one would you say personally is your favorite and also the hardest scene done on Felony?
My favourite scene was working with Tom on the dock. It's just such a privilege to just kind of be in a scene at the same time watching one of my favourite actors right in front of me speaking lines that I've written and doing such an amazing thing with his character in the script. That was very special. The accident scene was very difficult for me to shoot. It was just so many moving parts and complications, and trying to get the lie right. Mm-hmm. For me it was tricky. It's like, we want to tell that lie, but tell it in the right way. You?
Me? Oh, I love the scene with you and Tom, and for me that was probably the easiest scene because it was just put the camera on a tripod and point it at those guys and hit the go button. There wasn't really much work for me to do that night. But I also love the scene with Tom and Jai on the rooftop, where Tom delivers the band speech. And I think the most difficult, was the accident scene. Partly because there were so many moving parts in the logistics of it all. We had action vehicles. We had, they were the scenes with the most amount of extras. The fact that it was a night scene, and that we shot it over a period of 4 nights. So we had to pack up and clear the road, obviously, because I needed to use the road during the day. And then we had to come back and just remember where everything was and try and put it back to, make the set again, put it back together. And also the fact that we sort of see the same action twice and from 2 separate points of view. So we had to replicate the action. And that did my head in.
Okay, guys, fantastic, and congratulations for the film. Really enjoy it, and wish you all the best on this.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Prison is for pricks that don't have their punishment here. Not you. Not me.